Today, we are talking about one of my top 5 all-time favorite smart home / security devices. It's a smart lock from Yale. Let's get into it. What up, everybody? George Langevere here. Smart locks. They check 2 big boxes for me. Smart home, check. Home security, check. As you know, I'm a big smart home enthusiast, and man, I'm all about home security. So smart locks are probably my second favorite category of the smart home, right behind security cameras. Today, we've got the Yale Assure 2 Plus with Wi-Fi. I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna unbox it. I'm gonna talk setup and installation, price and specs, my full review, pros and cons. Let's get started with the unboxing. All right, so again, this is the Yale Assure Lock 2 Plus with Wi-Fi. The Plus model indicates that it's the one with Apple HomeKit. I got this in black suede. There's 3 different color options. Let's open it up. We got a quick start guide. It's got your HomeKit code on it. A more detailed user guide. Got the exterior part of the lock with the keypad. Got your Wi-Fi module. Again, this is the Wi-Fi model. The interior part of your door lock with the latch. It's also where the batteries go. Got your mounting plate for the interior part of the lock. 4 AA batteries. Then we have your mounting hardware. All right, you have your adjustable door bolt. You're gonna adjust that depending on the location of the hole for your deadbolt. You got your strike plate. You've got the little module that's going to tell you if your door's open or closed. It's a little sensor. Some screws, some more screws, and there we go. All right, before we move on, not that it matters because I'm always going to tell you like it is, but for full disclosure, I bought this lock with my own money. Yale did not send it to me. I just love this lock. In fact, when you watch my smart home tour, when I first moved into this place, check out that video. I had one of these locks, but then I had all these other brands lined up to test their smart locks, and I couldn't use it anymore, so I gave it away like a fool. Now, the person I gave it to also loved it, and I couldn't take it back from her, so I decided to buy another one just because I missed this lock. So that's where we're at. Now let's talk about setup and installation. All right, I'm not gonna get too into the weeds with this because setup and installation are very straightforward. You're gonna get the Yale Access App, you're gonna sign up for an account, you're gonna add a device. It's gonna walk you through step by step, both the setup and installation with pictures and videos. It's very detailed and very straightforward and very easy to follow. Now, as part of that process, you're also gonna add the lock to Apple HomeKit, at least this Plus model, because the Plus model has Apple HomeKit, meaning you can use it with your Apple Watch and your phone. And that's just like adding any other device to Apple HomeKit or Apple Home that you're used to. As far as installation, keep in mind this is not a retrofit lock, meaning it's going to replace the exterior hardware and the interior hardware, so you're basically replacing everything and starting from scratch. But again, the app walks you through it step by step. It couldn't be any easier. If you've never done it before, it's going to take you about 20 minutes. If you've done it before, it's going to take you 10 to 15. Talking price and specs. This lock is currently $289.99. Check in the description of this video if you're interested in purchasing. You'll find my affiliate link. When it comes to this lineup, there's a few different locks. We got the Yale Assure Lock 2, the Yale Assure Lock 2 Touch, and the Yale Assure Lock 2 Plus. Now, the Yale Assure Lock 2 is just their straight up lock. The Touch model offers a fingerprint, and the Plus model is the one with Apple HomeKit. They also have the Yale Approach Lock, which is a retrofit lock. The first 3 are not, meaning you're replacing all your hardware. The retrofit lock, you're just replacing your interior hardware. It comes in black suede, satin nickel, and oil rubbed bronze. And again, this one's compatible with Apple Home and Apple HomeKit, meaning you can use your watch and your phone to unlock your door. If you want to just use this lock with the Yale Access app, you can use it with an Android device. Now, this is the Yale Assure Lock 2 Plus Wi-Fi. I know it's confusing. Now, there are some models that are just Bluetooth. Because this has Wi-Fi, I can remote unlock and lock from anywhere. If I just have Bluetooth, I can only do it from within my home. Now, like a lot of smart locks, this also has auto lock, meaning that when you leave your home, it'll lock behind you after the interval that you set. In this case, this lock also has auto unlock, meaning when you're approaching your home, you can set up geofencing so it knows your location and it'll unlock the door automatically. We also have what's called door sense technology, and that's a little sensor that goes by the lock and it senses when your doors open or close. So that way, if you leave your door ajar too long, you can get an alert, and that's good for safety purposes. You have a touchscreen keypad, and you can do custom codes on that keypad, or you can do temporary codes. And the temporary codes would be perfect for like an Airbnb. Speaking of codes, this will hold up to 250 of them. Now with this particular model, which is the Plus model, it does not have a physical key. A couple of those other models I mentioned do. So if you're interested in the physical key, this is not the one for you. This one's all about Apple HomeKey with your watch and your phone. So keep that in mind. In addition to Apple Home, it's also compatible with Google Home, Lady A from Amazon, and SmartThings. In addition to the smart home integration I just mentioned, the usual voice assistants, you can also integrate this lock with Ecobee and Philips Hue, which is pretty sweet. As far as the weather rating, it's rated negative 22 degrees up to 140 degrees, and that's Fahrenheit. And it operates on 4 AA batteries. All right, let's talk about using this lock with both the Yale Access app and the Apple Home app. All right, starting with the Yale Access app, here's some highlights. So we got our home screen where I can lock and unlock the door. Then we've got a log of every time the lock has been used. We've got our guest list where you can add and remove guests. And then you've got your main settings. If you go to the lock settings, there's your name. You can hide your entry codes. You can verify your access. You can get notified when you're offline. You can set up smart alerts. And then when you're connected to your Bluetooth within your home, you've got your auto lock settings. So you can do auto lock enabled, auto lock when. You can put that on a timer. Then you can determine how long it takes to lock after you leave. There's your auto unlock. This is where you can set up your geofencing. You've got enable auto unlock, about auto unlock, advanced settings, auto unlock attempted, and then also you can get notified when you left your neighborhood. Going back to your door sense, that's the little sensor by the lock. This is when you can be alerted if your door has been left ajar. And here you can slide the duration of time that it was left ajar. You can recalibrate your lock if you need to. You can disconnect your Wi-Fi. You can do a factory reset. But that is the gist of the Yale Access app. All right, now let's talk about using the lock with Apple Home. If I go to Apple Home, I go to Security. There's my lock. I can lock it and unlock it just like any other lock in Apple Home. Go to the settings. I've got the name. I got my battery level. I've got which room it's in. I can add it to Home View, include it in my favorites. I can do my different automations. So when I lock the door, different lights come on, or unlock the door, different lights come on or go off, or whatever you want to do. Got all your different automations there. It gives you some suggested scenes. You can do your status and notifications, so you can be notified every time the lock is used through Apple Home, and then you've got some information about the lock down below. Now, everything with Apple HomeKey was already set up when we installed the lock, and that's basically just the access with your watch and your iPhone, so very simple. All right, let's talk my review. What do I think of this lock? Pros and cons, starting with the pros. I would put this lock in my top 3 smart locks that I've ever tried, and I've tried a lot. I'd put it right there with the Aqara U200 and the Schlage Encode Plus. And I'd probably rank them this one, the Aqara lock, and then the Schlage. I just love this lock. And with that being said, this is one of my top smart home devices, period, not just smart locks. And I would say my top pro is Apple HomeKey. I love using this lock with my Apple Watch and my iPhone. The auto lock has 100% been reliable, and that's very important. If you start to rely on that like I do, when you leave, you want it to lock behind you. This one has not failed me. The first one I owned, and also this one. So I love that. The auto unlock has also been reliable, and that's surprising to me because this one fails a lot, especially in an apartment building like ours, because it's hard for it to figure out when I'm coming home. But I don't know if it's this apartment or what, but the unlock works flawlessly here. So when I approach the lock, it knows I'm coming and it unlocks it for me. I think it's really cool that you can integrate this lock with both Ecobee and Philips Hue. So Ecobee, for example, when you're on your doorbell, you've got your lock right there. You can unlock it right from the Ecobee app. You don't have to go to the Yale app or the Apple Home app. It's right there integrated with that app. Same thing with Philips Hue. It was easy to set up and install, so that's a pro. And my final pro is the aesthetics. This is my favorite looking smart lock just because it's so simple. It's got a small presence on the outside. a small presence on the inside, but yet looks sleek and modern. My cons. Now this is just more of a wish list. I wish this particular model, in addition to the home key, also had a physical key, because that would be great for somebody like me that lives in a building where there's maintenance, so they could still use my old key. But I just give my maintenance a specific code and it works out fine. But that would be a wish list item and a con for me. And another wish list item, not so much a con, but I wish this particular model, in addition to Apple HomeKey, had the fingerprint. That's the one advantage that the Aqara U200 has. On its keypad, it has HomeKey and the fingerprint. So again, more of a wish list item than a con, but some of their other models do have the fingerprint. And my final con is this lock is a little pricey. At $289.99, it sits above a lot of the other locks, but it feels so premium and it's so sleek and modern. I really feel it's worth it, but again, a little more expensive than the competition. All right, that's it. That's my review of the Yale Assure Lock 2 Plus with Wi-Fi. What do you think? What is your favorite smart lock? I'd love to know in the comments. I put smart locks and security cameras right at the top of the list when it comes to categories for the smart home. And yeah, I'm a security dude, I'm a little biased, but come on, home security is pretty important. Not only to protect your family and your stuff, but also for convenience and peace of mind. Is there a smart lock out there that I should be trying that I haven't? Check out my smart lock playlist because I have tried quite a few. But I'm always willing to try new stuff and I'd love to hear from you. I appreciate your support. Whether you've been here with me for the thick of it or you're new, I love you all. Until the next video, peace and love, my friends.